So I was doing some research on this miraculous serum that they're using on a couple of people with Ebola. The first thing to note is that this is derived from a plant, as are many other pharmaceuticals. This, of course, is due to the fact that plants have to fight off diseases just like we do. And so many of them have complex mechanisms for doing that. Now this particular vaccine, or this particular serum, is derived from the tobacco plant, and they get it by injecting some proteins which are probably poisons to the plant, and this causes the plant to increase its production of the chemicals, or the enzymes actually, that are being used in this serum. They're not actually adding anything to the capacity of the tobacco plant, they are just exploiting what's already there. And this is why many other plant materials will probably turn out to be useful, at least on a do-it-yourself basis, in fighting Ebola. Right now I think we need to be on alert in the sense that it's going to be early September before we really start to understand whether or not Ebola has escaped into the United States. The director of the CDC says that it's inevitable that it will be here, and I would say he's really saying that it's already here because people have been moving around by airplanes and touching each other and touching the airplane seats and touching everything all the way through the system. So they're really just trying to get on top of what's already going to happen. There's nothing being added to the system here that's not already here. But I think it's interesting when you read this article from WebMD. They say that the serum is made from 3 enzymes that appear in the tobacco plant as a result of a protein injection. This brings up another point about plant products that, even though pharmaceutical industry, this brings up another important point about plants and plant medicines, is that the pharmaceutical industry typically looks for that one magic ingredient that has the effect. And often it's the effect of the plant medicine is not due to just one chemical, it's due to multiple things. There's that movie with Sean Connery where they're in the jungle looking for plant medicines, and they look at this plant and many plants, and they ultimately decide that the effect is due to the fact that they get some ants in the mix. Okay, so the same thing holds true. Okay, so what they say in this article in WebMD is that the serum is a combination of 3 enzymes which they extract from this adulterated tobacco plant, and they say that one of the antibodies alerts the immune system to the fact that there is an infection going on in the system, and the other 2 apparently keep the virus from duplicating itself. They don't say that really it kills it, they just say it stops down the duplication rate. And, so those are critical. So it's a complex thing, as many plant medicines are. Different things work in concert to get the effect. So I think there's reason to hope, but the hope is still based on what you choose to do for yourself. If there is an outbreak starting in September, the healthcare system will very quickly be overwhelmed, as it is in Africa. The healthcare system itself is and will be a safety hazard in terms of Ebola, because there you concentrate all the victims and people are touching things. It's like they may be using these isolation suits, but there's a real possibility that some janitor down the line is going to touch the exterior of one of these suits and become infected and then carried out. So we can speculate all we want. Come September, we're going to have the fact, and you're going to hear about it even if they keep it off the mainstream media. So as I've mentioned before, you can do research on natural antivirals. Just Google that and you'll get a list of many different things you can buy at health food stores, and I'm going to be stocking up, and if I start to hear that Ebola is breaking out in the United States, I will begin a very aggressive program of ingesting these substances on a continuous basis. I just might mention there was a guy, a Dr. S, who came on Steve Quayle recently, and he was talking about his experience in treating MERSA, which is actually a bigger threat to you right now, with 75,000 people dying from it every day. But he said that he has been having very good luck with treating MRSA, like 10 or 15 drops, 10 drops under the tongue every 15 minutes. Okay, and I think if that makes any sense, it really means that if there is an outbreak of Ebola, you basically need to consider putting drops of various naturals into your water bottle and drinking it continuously. So good luck to us all. And I think something is very likely to happen, but I also think there are things that we can do for ourselves to keep ourselves in the survivor camp.